Hey, how's it going everyone? So a couple of months ago I was browsing around and I ended up on the Xamarin website. And they had this really cool text flip effect on their homepage. Now, since then they changed their website, so unfortunately you won't be able to see it anymore. But it looked something like this. This is something I did on my own because I really loved the effect, so I tried to challenge myself and thought I could replicate it, but without using any plugins, no jQuery, just pure JavaScript, CSS3, and HTML. And today I thought I'd make a video sharing with you how exactly I did this. So let's get into it. So I'll be using Visual Studio Code, but you can use whatever other text editor you like. I'm just going to create a new HTML file, call it index. So let's just code the basic layout for the file. So I'll start by making a wrapper div, and let's have a paragraph for our text itself. I thought we could write something like, hello, fellow viewers. That will be the whole text flipping. And now I just created a style.css file so we can style our layout. I'll just give the body a background color. And let's style our wrapper div. Let's just give the text a color of white. Font family of sans serif, so it looks cleaner. Let's give it a font size of 75 pixels and just a margin of 25%. And let's text align it, center. And now we'll make a flip class. And this is where the transition itself happens. So we're just going to call a CSS3 property called transform and rotate X and give it a value of 360 degrees. We call another CSS3 property called transition. And what we do with this is we reference another property in CSS and we tell how long the transition lasts, how long the effect will last. So in this case, I want transform to last for 0.6 seconds. That seems good enough. And let's just link it to our HTML file. And now if you open your HTML file in your browser, this is what you should expect. And finally, we get where the magic happens. So I'll be writing in pure JavaScript. I just created a word array with every word we want to flip through. I got a reference to the element, so I just use document.getElements by tag name to get our p tag. And since this returns a nodeless array, I just call the first one, which is the only one we have, and the word index counter, and you'll see later why. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to add and remove that flip class to the element, which will trigger the animation. And we're going to do this in a timely manner. So we'll need a function that removes the flip class every time we add it, so then we can re-trigger the animation. So I'm just going to create a reset animation function. And now, since we want something to repeat in JavaScript, we use the setInterval function. And we want this to repeat every 2 seconds. Based on the word index that is being displayed at the moment, we will switch and display a different word. So let's just do that. These are the only values that this variable will have. We're going to have case 0, case 1, and case 2 for each word, called break on each. And now I'll just start coding case 1, which is the first case that will run once the script is loaded. Why? Because I initialized word index with the value of 1, which is the second word, and not 0 because we already displayed the word 0 here. The first thing we want to do is add the flip class to the element. Now this will trigger the animation itself. After the animation, we want to change the text to the one in the array, and we pass the word index, the one which we want now. After that, we change word index to the next one. Now, we can't just call reset animation out the back because we need to wait for the animation to trigger. We only want to remove the flip class after the animation is played out. The way you do that is you defer the function from running for a bit. So we call set timeout, and we want reset animation to run after 1000 milliseconds, that is 1 second has passed. We set the transform animation to run after 0.6 seconds, which is 600 milliseconds. So it will wait for 1000 before it removes the class and the whole thing can re-trigger. And then I basically just copy the whole boilerplate. On case 0, we set word index to case 1, On case 1 we set word index to 2 so it can go to case 2, and on case 2 we set word index to 0 so it can start over. Get a script and set the source to script.js. So now if you open the file in our browser, bam, hello fellow viewers, it's working and it resets. Okay, so as a recap, we have our basic layout, we set the flip class for our transformation, we make it last for 600 milliseconds, and here we just get an array of words we want to flip through, we get a reference to the element, we get a word index counter, we create a reset animation function to remove the class so we can re-trigger it by adding it again, and we switch through the word indexes so we can change the word, and we set the word index to the next one and the next one, and here we reset it to 0 so we can just loop through the array. Now keep in mind, this might not be the best solution, it might not be the most optimized solution, but that's kind of the point of making this video. If you have a better solution, make sure to let me know. And yes, that's pretty much the way I found to do this. Thank you so much for watching if you stuck around this long, and based on the reception this video has, I might make this into a series or even make more videos of coding or programming. Until then, have a good one.